Welcome to week 64 in our program, and we'll just start off by finishing what we started in the previous one, which was after we Taan and Gan and Taan again, coming back to the center, so we recognize the center as our reference point. We repeat that Hyun Sau, Che Jeong, and then Sau Kyun, bringing the hand back on both sides. Again, we're doing what we've already done. It's repeated, so it's making it more impressive on your body, on your memory, so that you don't forget the idea. As soon as we've done that on both sides, so we've come out, we've done this side as well, and we've finished it with the Sau Kyun, the next thing we do is make a Bong Sau action. This is probably one of the most misunderstood and misdone techniques. I know misdone sounds weird, but wrongly done, let's say. Most people tend to come around, almost like a swimming action. Coming around with a Bong Sau is a certain death recipe. You're not going to get there in time to stop the attack. It also puts an enormous strain on your own shoulder, so even if you do make contact, it's going to hurt you. Coming up is just as bad, because if you're coming up, you're trying to lift the punch, which means you're going to push the punch into your face anyway. The correct way to do it, from our standpoint, is that you bring the hand forward almost like you're going to do a Taan Sau again, but when your elbow reaches the end of your body and there's nothing else to contact, you roll it over, because that replicates what Bong Sau is meant to be there for. If I invite Jung to come in, we'll do it on this side so it's more obvious. We've already established in many weeks ago that if there's too much pressure on your arm when you're trying to get on the inside, the easiest way to deal with it is to shift that pressure away. You can see that by going straight towards him with my elbow, I can move him without straining myself and easily sending that away. Whereas if I was to try to come around, he'd be in and I'd hurt my shoulder. If I tried to lift it up, instead of hitting me in the chin or the chest, he's going to hit me in the nose. But if it goes forwards, his punch can't get in. We are literally deflecting, not stopping. This is not a block. In our Wing Chun, there are no blocks. Maybe other people do blocking actions. In the Wong Sau system, there's no blocking. It's all deflection and redirection. So when I do it in the form, if Jung steps back, I'm basically doing the same thing. There's just nobody here to touch my hand. Now, it's introduced right now at the very end of the form because it's the final piece in the puzzle that is single hand Chi Sau. We earlier, two pieces of the form further back, did the Taan Sau, introduced that. Now we've got the other side of the drill, Bong Sau. So by the time someone's learnt the third section of Siu Nim Tau, they have all the tools they need for single hand Chi Sau, because we've done the palm strike, we've done the punch, we've got a Taan, we've got a Fook, so we only need two more pieces, Taan Sau, Bong Sau. So if Jung steps out again, this action is exactly the same action. If I face the camera, forward and turn it over. Notice it's not as high as my shoulder, it's below the shoulder. I'm making sure my palm faces away, because if my palm faces down, the bones are side by side, so things can slide over the top. But if I turn it over, the bones become one above the other. There's two bones in your forearm, as we all know. That shape will deflect energy away. The bong, the word bong, means the upper arm. So when I do a Bong Sau, I'm moving my upper arm towards the target. So it's like this is a gun barrel and I'm aiming it at my opponent. Once I've done that Bong Sau, I then drop straight back into the center without coming back to my body. So if you look at it from the side point, Bong and Taan. Why is that important? That's the basic ingredient in Chi Sau. That relationship between Bong Sau and Taan Sau is crucial. A lot of people make the mistake of letting the elbow come back. Very dangerous. The elbow stays out there and it literally comes to the center. And if you do that accurately, your arm will always fall into a perfect Taan Sau, which replicates the very first Taan Sau that you did in the form. And in fact, all the Taan Sau are the same Taan Sau, they just get in there differently. We'll leave it there because this one's become a little bit longer than the usual episodes, and I'll continue the discussion next week. See you then.